Comics Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm the variant Roll.
Yes. And you know what? I thought about this before they're coming onto the show today. And if you've watched our last episodes, since episode 1 or issue 1 or variant 1.
Even though you have episode on the anyway.
Yeah, even so it says episodes. That's for podcast purposes, but it is issue 1. If you've been watching the Rip Comics Podcast, you may have noticed something a little bit different. And I thought maybe it's fitting to address it here to kind of squash the rumors and why it is. But my brother did shave, so that's what I wanted to say. That's the whole mystery of why the show looks so different. It's a difference. What a shave can do. I thought you were like one of your, my kids or your kids. You look, you look like you're still in high school, man.
Ripped Comics, now less hairy.
Yeah, less hairy. And then we still got the Invisible Brother. He's like he's our Sue Richards. Hey.
He's like the Lorenzo Music, in what was it, Rhoda?
Oh,
but in this case we only just he commented, and then we have the brother, the other one. He only shows up for Kiss stuff, but
it is Batman Day, and I'm wearing the Batman shirt. Oh. Yeah, you might have got the memo wrong. We got the yellow. There could have been confusion. It's either Pac-Man Day, Batman Day, Bat Dance Day. You know what? That should be the day. Should be Bat Dance Day.
This is Batman heavy metal, like 80s retro.
Yeah, it's funny you say Batman metal because I purposely avoided referring to some of those issues. Well, there was only one issue that we actually talked about, and it was that Superman variant where he had all the long hair. There was another issue that I was going to bring up as far as potential issue to pick up, but I decided I'm not going to do it. It was Speed Metal, and it had all these variants.
Speed Racer?
No, unfortunately.
That would be.
It was unfortunately a lot of flashes.
Oh.
And they had Dr. Manhattan power on one cat.
See, but here's the thing is that with that one Batman issue where they showed the Bat Dong, I thought with that all those flashes, it was just a whole bunch of superheroes like.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what we all thought. We thought the Bat Dong
was. Is it unfortunate?
We thought it was ushering in a new era in
Super Dongs.
Yeah, we were just going to start seeing, glimpses of everything. They were just going to just go totally out of control. Yeah, just for sake of whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and let me see if I could find it. Yeah, here it is. Since people,
Wait, is it the Bat Dong or is this the Flash?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't. Yeah, I'll lose whatever privileges we may have here.
We'll lose our 5 viewers.
Yeah, our 5 viewers. Yeah, but there it is.
But we know you're out there.
Yeah, Dark Knight, Death Metal, Speed Metal, and you got the Batman who laughs in the back. I think they gave him a name recently, and I don't know. But anyway, you got all these freaking flashes running. I mean, even in the back, if you look, they're like weirdo flashes, and it's like a flash race.
So is that Trinity Crisis, like where they destroy all these worlds and redo it again?
We're giving you bonus coverage since it is Batman Day, and we're going to pick one of the most unorthodox Batman, and it's the Batman who laughs. It's the Batman has a visor like LaForge, but he has spikes. He has spikes, and then he has null hands, and yeah.
Oh no!
So here it is. It comes out next week. It's a drag race from hell taking place after the events of Dark Knights and Death Metal #3. The Darkest Night is after Wally West and his Dr. Manhattan powers. Thankfully, Wally has backup in the form of Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, and Wallace West to knock down, drag out race through the wastelands as the Flash family tries to stay steps ahead of the darkest night and his lightning nights. So there it is. Yeah. So
A lot of nights.
yeah, it's a lot of nights and a lot of flashes and dashes. But that's probably going to be it for our Batman coverage. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go. Woo!
There we go. No more Batman coverage. But anyway, there were some things that did come out in the news. It's everybody getting ready for October. October is always the month of Halloween and all this, and they're always doing some kind of scary twists to the book. I mean, it kind of goes with the seasons and well, Spider-Man has a lot of these different things happening. They got issue 49, which is actually legacy number 850, but you still got the milestone issue of number 50, which is coming out. So that's almost like a back-to-back milestone thing. There's all kinds of stuff. Some people don't like how they're doing that numbering. Some people think that the numbering system is totally wrong. Coming up at the end of this month is legacy number 850, but in October, we're going to see the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 50. And they're saying it's Spider-Man just took the beating of his life, but it's all, he's just getting it all in there, but it's all just getting started. Okay, and then we got artist Patrick Gleason returns to usher in the watershed moment, along with writer Nick Spencer as Kindred finally steps out on the stage for the first time. So I guess these are the Spider family or Spider-Man.
Yep, that's the.
Yeah, so you got
we're back in the 70s of the Shazam family, the Spider family.
Yeah, you got to have a family, unless you're the death in the family. Anyway, so we got Silk in the bottom here, in the bottom left. You got Spider-Gwen with her ballet shoes, and then you got Miles Morales. They're all looking very heroic, and I don't know what the hell's going on with Spider-Man. He's like kind of wimpy looking, and then I guess that's the villain. I guess that's the main guy. I don't know. I don't know this character. You know what I mean? There's somebody behind you. And then we got Spider-Woman right there as well on the side.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, Null is down there, I guess.
Actually, this is going to be, I guess, that Kindred. It's going to be, because this guy has appeared there since issue number 1. From 50, we're at issue 50, and Amazing Spider-Man comes out every 2 weeks, so it's a bi-weekly book. So that's how we've quickly gone to issue 50. But that's the one of the villains I guess they had launched out. And then these have to be so this would be like first appearance, I guess, of Arms. And then it says this would be coming out just in time. And then it says grab a glance of a couple of pieces of art, including, I guess, this one. And I guess this is the cat. Centipede arms, or I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah.
Oh, because it's bug fights. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, cemetery looks like, I don't know. And then, we got Doctor Strange. I don't know. I guess that was a Kindred person. I don't know what it is. And then look, his eyes just blink. It's like Deadpool eyes. He's half Deadpool, half Spider-Man, or whatever you want to call that. I don't know. He's like all reaches, like help me, or I guess he's wanting the help of Doctor Strange. I don't know what's going on in these pictures. You know what? I probably need to catch up on some Spider-Man. So for homework, true believers, we need to catch up on what's going to happen in Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man number 50. I recommend go out, find issue number 48 and 49. They're out there. And I know the Green Goblin is in that issue 49. I think it's issue 49. Yeah. I don't know. I'm confused at where all the numbers myself. But anyway, and then issue 50 is coming out. So there you go. And this is courtesy of Marvel Comics Online. So if you want to see the latest and read the latest in Marvel Comics, go to Marvel Comics Online. They're always updating us with all the issues, that are coming in October, November, December. and they basically tell you what you don't really need to buy because it's too much. You can't buy all this stuff. I'm just warning you guys. Be picky on what you buy. We're coming down to the end of the year, and the pile is growing bigger and bigger with Null
And Leon's getting larger.
and X of Swords, and and that's just one entity. I mean, we're talking about dozens and dozens of books and variants, and that's not including the multitude of second printing, third printings, and it's just this is just going to be a monster avalanche of books. But anyway, let's get further into. So this is more up Roland's alley. He's a connoisseur of X-Men. He's seen a lot of this. So of course, like I said, getting into the theme of October, Marvel is retroing out not just the X-Men, but there are several books across the universe that are going to have these horror style variants. I know Thor has an issue, but because of the pandemic, everything kind of switched around. So the Thor Frankenstein issue already popped out, and it was part of this thing. And I remember them announcing that they were going to do this, but some comic books stayed on track. Some of them, got moved around. But, some of them, fortunately, are going to end up in October. So let's take a look at some of these Marvel ones.
Like people from Image were in charge.
Yeah, I think they had a little touch there. There we go. This is, I guess, the Avengers cover. This is what it's going to look like. It's kind of retro. We've seen this before, though, haven't we? The Attack of the 50-Foot Woman style Hulk, She-Hulk type thing before.
I don't know. Isn't that girls' comic?
Yeah, you're right. The big girls, yeah. In the back, you also see the Scarlet Witch. So I'm assuming everybody got like super big in this one, and you got people with cameras and all that kind of stuff. But it's a very retro looking. Like it's almost like a poster, but in a cover of a book, and you can see the edges are all kind of. I don't know if that's supposed to be smoke or the ripping of the poster or whatever, but it's a cool retro kind of vibe.
I like it.
Pretty good. And then you got Captain America, Cap Wolf in Uncivil War. It's got a werewolf, Captain America with Iron Man hand in his mouth.
Now, has he been a werewolf before?
That's what I'm saying. I think
it looks familiar.
Yeah, but he was more like his arms were like out, like howling out or something like that. These are very familiar. Like I said, these almost are like they revisited some of this and did something to it. Then
maybe that's the retro look they're talking about.
Look at this. This is definitely a retro from the original preview of Symbiote Spider-Man, because he originally was shown in red, and I find it interesting that they show that. So you got Amazing Spider-Man, Vampire Hunter. I'm wondering what's going to happen in the collector market, because technically a Symbiote Spider-Man had never appeared officially in something until this cover. So I think I'm just warning everybody. And oh wow, look at the top. I think it says issue number 50. So there's your variant issue number 50. I think
I like that. Yeah. I like that cover. I'll tell you that.
Very cool. I'd like to see how. You know what? But it's just the cover. I would love to see this as an actual issue. Don't you think? To see this play out. It's only for a cover, so I think this is.
Oh, see that?
Yeah. Too bad.
Well, then again, that's like old school. That's old school comic books for you, where you would see
something.
Oh no, Superman's been bitten by a vampire. No, it was the first 3 pages, and it was a dream. So
yeah. But you never know. Something like this could spark the interest, and then they end up doing something later on. Then we got Captain Marvel Unleashed. It's Captain Marvel, obviously, coming from a fire. Oh wait, that's not Michael Jackson, is it? I don't know what's going on down here. It's almost like a scene from Thriller, and here she comes. I don't know. It's
Walking
just
Dead.
I like it. I like the way they do the Captain Marvel logos. I like a lot of these vibes on this. This is fun. It's festive. It's for the holiday, and I think that's a cool deal. Now this one is. I think you might have seen this one. This is issue number 38. It's the Living Hulk, and oh, he's like the mummy. Okay, there it is. I see the
That's cool.
sarcophagus.
I like that one too.
Yep. He lives, he walks, and no tomb can hold him. That would be another cool thing to actually see. And then we got Spider Woman by Night. And yeah,
Okay.
it's a wolf, and she's got Spider Man clothes and a doll. Or no, is that a little girl? Okay, yeah, it's a little girl with tattoos. Oh, or what? I don't know what's going on in this thing. Wait, hold on.
Wow.
She weaves her deadly web in the light of the full moon. So, it's cool, but
Yeah, you know.
and of
I guess.
course, X-Men, the Legion of X Monsters, and then you
Mhm.
got like you figured they would have done a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah,
like
they kind of phoned that one in.
yeah,
Like
Monster Squad. Yeah,
Wolverine's got no, never mind.
yeah. Oh yeah. Does he have his regular claws or he's got his bone claws? Probably his bone claws.
Yep, those are bone,
Yeah.
and we got boned on this cover because see, but they're revisiting. You remember? Wasn't there a what if um, where Storm was a vampire, or she was like the bride of Dracula or something like that?
I think so. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I think that they hearken to some older stuff that we might have seen before, and they kind of did a little visit with that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm always down for a good fight if they can get the right character. The problem is that it's kind of hard to find a character or villain or whatever that can, um, uh, attack Superman just because of the fact that they are invincible.
Superman introduced DC's next cosmic powerhouse. Sinmar, Superman's newest enemy and a cosmic powerhouse, is about to introduce himself to the greater DC universe. I don't know. He looks like somebody who would be a bad guy from Guardians of the Galaxy and The Fifth Element. They're done with Earth. That's what it's coming down to. The comics are done with Earth, and the only especially with what's going on, how can they make stories all around the COVID and Corona? I mean, I see a lot of shows coming back right now where, they have masks on and stuff like that. So the only thing I can see is, you know, let's let's take it up to space. Let's bring these other people in because somehow now Earth is too depressing to have stories in where this was the backdrop for many. It's kind of like going reverse of what Doctor Who did. Beginning of Doctor Who, they were going to many planets, this and that, but then when they not rebooted, when they had more of the recent ones, they stayed in the on Earth, and then they may have ventured out to other planets, but they stayed right here. Well, I'm still working on my Metal Jaw comics, and I'm pushing it to a Metal Jaw comics. My comic is usually Z and G, but I'm actually going to be moving it towards the Z and G universe to kind of introduce more characters and more different stories to just I don't know, give more of a broad view than just the two main characters. It was something that I wanted to do with Metal Jaw comics when I first started, and just have like different stories um and stuff like that. I actually had a couple issues or stuff created, but then I just stuck with Z and G. And you're back.
It's a tale of the tape. We're getting his background story. We're being told all this stuff, and yeah, this dude is coming for Superman, and that's what it is. So there's like a hype show right now. We're preparing the fight. You know what I mean? It's HBO Showtime show, and we're trying to get ready for what's about to happen. Anyway, so any thoughts on that? See, what I liked about Doomsday is that Doomsday just came, and you know what I mean?
Well, and this goes back to, you know, what we were saying about, I was right. They are,
It's telegraphing. It's telegraphing arch enemies and villains, and we're not going to build up the story, and we're going to release it as a press release. Hey, everybody, welcome to, you know,
Friday Night Fights.
Night Fights. Here's a new guy on the table. You know,
I mean,
hey, it's Anakin Skywalker. Anyway,
it's becoming wrestling. It's
yeah. And here's the latest cat and whatever, and I don't know.
Again, it just goes to they're telling us, well, like I said, it's like, how are you going to introduce someone? I don't know. He's a powerhouse. Well, I don't know. I think we're being too picky now, but it's, you know, it's funny because we keep asking for new content. I think that's the problem, though. We're asking for new content, and when they give us new content, they tell us how we're supposed to feel about it.
Yeah. Well,
they can't just introduce new content and us go, I see what they're doing. I don't like it. And then people send the mail and they get their letters put in the.
Yeah, I guess depending on how many shares and tweets and likes and all this will determine if they're going to continue with this path, or you know what, let's go ahead and kill them off in 4 episodes or issues, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll come up with another guy. Because I mean, how many times can you do the hey Lois whatever, and you know, because back in the day, I mean, he would just kind of beat up bank robbers, and you know, it's like we have to get, I don't know. They just all need to just crossover. Anyway, back to the thing. So, speaking of things that are going back to the way they were, Rick Grayson has finally went back to being Dick Grayson. So,
I'm sorry.
When did this happen? Yeah, okay. This also has more spoilers from Nightwing 74. Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, is one of DC's most beloved and iconic characters. The former Boy Wonder radically shift to Rick Grayson alienated many longtime Nightwing fans. Finally, however, it's the era of Rick is over. Dick Grayson is Nightwing once more. What do you think about this? I mean, I don't even know if I should even read the rest of this, but I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, people like Dick. And that they showed it. They said, you know what? The fans want Dick. Let's give him Dick. And
they're giving the people what they want. Fortunately, Rick's girlfriend, B, used the memory crystal to restore his memories as Dick Grayson. Wow. Isn't that nice?
Again, stuff like that gives me the hope that my harebrained story ideas... Well, if she used the crystal, I mean, that's...
Yeah, maybe he'll go back to being Robin. Never mind. But there you go. He's like, oh, it feels like tearing my mind apart, but I think it's working. That this is the truth. And then he starts seeing all his Flying Grayson. But I noticed that there's no Robin in there. So he just completely forgot about being Robin?
Well, yeah, because what is that? Wow, we got like the Eric Draven look there with... I don't think you're ever supposed to be that close to his mask to see just a glassy-eyed look. Oh, maybe that's what the whole point is.
So that's one way to do it, you know, waking up from a dream. You can wake up from a dream and totally be in a different universe and all that kind of stuff. Or you could just go ahead and get a crystal and disappear all that stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a lot better than doing a whole crossover just to say we're done with this.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's what I got for news. Did you have you? I don't know if you've seen anything pop up that you wanted to.
This is the most unprepared first show I've ever been, but at the same time, I'm also moving away from my hometown tomorrow to California. So there's that. Kind of been
Hey,
doing that.
that's like that Can Heat song, isn't it? Never mind.
I'm just, I'm going to end up waking up in California and with a crystal, be like, oh, I remember this place.
I remember, and you got the haircut too. You're ready to rock the Nightwing.
Casbah? Oh,
This week, we're just going to quickly touch on these. But the hot comics that we had last week, I did not really move from those. Of course, there's all the numerous reprintings of Venom and Thor's and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you know, if you want to catch up on those, it's a great opportunity to try. You will be fighting off. You know, collectors, speculators that are,
investors.
yeah, whatever you want to call them, that truly believe that some, you know, but you know, they're not going to give you a chance to buy some of these issues, but you know, try your best. You want to catch up on some of these stories, or you can go digitally, and then you can just avoid all of that. I know this it's something different about having that actual comic in your hand, but you know, the story is still there if you don't have an opportunity to do that. The subscriptions are actually not that bad, I think.
I'm not lying. I was totally expecting for you to tell me about the green eggs and ham um, ice cream man.
They haven't announced another variant. So, like I said, when going back to Ice Cream Man number 20, the Things You May Go cover, they were on the shelves. They were on the shelves literally for that weekend and the following week on Comic Book Wednesday. They were still on the shelf. And they are coming out still with a third. Um, I know I'm sharing right now Thor 7 on the screen, but you know what? I'll get back into that at the end of this segment. What we saw was Thor 7 that came out, and it does have a reveal at the end. Thor just doesn't, you know, have it in him anymore. And if you have a chance to get this might be kind of an interesting book because it's basically showing a different mindset. The artwork was okay. Aaron Cooter did some okay stuff on this. Um, it wasn't the he's got his own style. I'll say that. I like what we were seeing before with Thor, the way they drew him. This one, I don't know. I was getting used to it and stuff like that. You know what? I'm gonna just say it. Screw it. A truck driver ends up just grabbing the hammer because the hammer spells out "pick me up," and he
Oh,
grabs it. Next thing you know, this lonely truck driver, old dude, mechanic guy becomes the next wielder of the
Mjolnir. How do you
yeah,
say?
yeah, I don't know, the hammer.
Does he automatically know how to say it, or would he be like, Mjolnir? You know,
Well,
I mean,
everything. This is all happening in Oklahoma, so it's like they're familiar with Thor and all the crap that he's brought. I think what Asgard on Earth was kind of set up around there. I don't know any of this stuff. I mean, I mean, unless is this related to the movie in some way? Did all that stuff take place in Oklahoma in the movie?
I don't know, but I think the movie was taken from the comic.
Okay, well, vice versa, whatever. So all these people know everything about the Thor lore, Asgard, and all that, you know. So when the hammer came and hit, they all kind of knew, oh crap, it's happening again. But this time, this old cat picked it up, and I think Iron Man was there to see it and was like, "What the heck?" And the dude had like that picture. He had your old before you completely shaved everything off, and he was wielding the hammer. So yeah, I saw some previews of what's going to happen, or they were previewed in the book. The dude is getting thrown around all over the place. He can't.
It,
He doesn't know what to do. He's getting beat up all over the place. Yeah.
he should totally have like a hat that says "Make Asgard Great Again."
Oh yeah. No kidding. But
My God.
it's a cool episode. You kind of get a little insight on Thor. You do see a glimpse of something else that's I'm going to show you of a comic book that's coming out next week. Remember, this is Thor 7, so just remember that when I show you the second print of Thor 6. So the next book that I had sent out from last week was this one,
Yep.
and it's the precursor to the X of Swords. They're actually saying that this is a prelude. So let me ask you this: if it is a prelude book to a big event, how many issues do you think they should have of this thing?
Well,
It's a prelude to the X of Swords. It's the kickoff. It's not technically the kickoff. There are no wording on it that says it's a kickoff. But if you read the literature, it is considered a kickoff of the new X event. Well, somebody's gonna make money off this one because let me explain what happened. Was this is one of the ones that I said we need to keep an eye on this book,
yeah.
and okay, but you're reading, it says a lead into the biggest X story of the summer. So the point I'm making is that if it is one of the biggest books that that's leading into this big thing, you think I would be able to go into the shop and find that? So I walk into the store, I'll just the Texas Toys. There was not a single copy of this anywhere at all. It's almost like they didn't even have a place for it.
Yeah, but I mean, you
Now,
said
and then,
Texas Toys. They don't.
well, I I made a phone call and I went ahead and called Comics Plus, and then I also went and called a certain friend of ours, and all of them said, okay. The first one said we're completely out of it.
Oh, okay.
The other one said we've been allocated. Only partial of our order has been sent. The rest of it will come in on the next shipment. But those books have all been committed to our pull box customers, so there will not be a single copy available on the shelf. Then the other
Wow.
stores, said we've been allocated. We'll be getting a couple of issues. We may have a couple of issues, but the X of Swords actually officially begins next week. So there's a chance that if you didn't subscribe to this book or in any way get this book, you're not going to get this book. The only way you're going to get this book is either second printing, third printing, fourth printing. Now, I'm going to say it right here because I was already told. The word is out. The next Venom book that comes out next Wednesday is going to be allocated as well. And I'm already saying that. I was told, I'm not going to say who told me, but I've been told that book will be allocated along with this book. So that means you're going to go in there looking for that Venom, whatever. What is it, 28, 20, whatever? And they're at that very critical point where everything's all hyping up. We want to see where all these it's that alternate universe, the Venom Beyond and all that kind of stuff that's about to play out. But you're not going to be able to find that book unless you pre-ordered that book. It's going to send people into a frenzy. They're going to say, oh my gosh, the book sold out. And they're going to go online. They're going to be paying extra money and, all this kind of crap. But the word is the book's going to be allocated just like this book was allocated. And I think it's unfortunate because these are kind of key books. Why couldn't it have been like some other whatever, oh, hey, Shazam, or I don't know. Yeah, according to this book, because I read it online. The symbol, it's kind of hard to see, but he's got 3 slashes on the bottom. Okay, it's a designation of his power. This one is like the most supreme of all the powers. He's actually the grandson of Apocalypse, this cat right here. And so he's going to be doing all kinds of stuff. They have different powers that they have. He's like the most supreme power person. I sent you links, so when you get a chance, don't worry about it now. You can read on it and stuff like that. But I know that the X of Swords, I'm actually kind of interested in checking it out. I want to see what X of Swords is all about. I think it'd be kind of a fun read to kind of look through. It's been a while since I've been through
Okay, so is this guy a time traveler?
I He can. I think he does have some powers like that.
Well, so I'm wondering what era grandson of Apocalypse is he? 'Cause, I mean, Apocalypse lived. I mean, he's still around when Cable
Yeah.
got sent to the future. So, what? Yeah, I mean, what? Which one? What? When? I don't know. This is the Ray.
Yeah,
This is the
this is
Jedi
the
Ray.
problem. Yeah, no, this is the problem when you've read books and then you're out of a universe for a little bit. Next thing you know, it's like, wait a minute, okay, that didn't happen. This happened. They brought this back. They brought whatever, and that's it's funny because did all the books begin with a narrative at the beginning of the books? No, there was maybe Spider-Man or something like that. Hey, true believers, blah, 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 they give you the little outline. But did all the books do that? Because Marvel, every book does that. It's like they have to give a preface of what happened. It's like Star Wars. You're getting one of those to cue you in on what has happened and where you're at. Because I think these books they're so pinpointed to like what it is. You can't
Yeah.
read that book without knowing. You have to have known what 5 other books. They're not self-contained anymore.
Well, but you know what though? That's the good thing because
Yeah,
I mean,
because sometimes you get lost.
If you remember back, they used to do the. I still see that in some Marvel books where they would put that little box C number 153 or C number so and so, and it'd have the editor's name or whoever's name on there. And I think with all of the history that all these heroes have, all these comic books have, you need to have that. And I think having those little narratives of hey, you can reference this book, that also gets people to buy back issues. Because if you're just jumping, I see this a lot on a lot of comic book, Facebook pages and stuff like that. People join the group and they're like, hey, I'm just starting off in comics. What's a good series to start off in? I usually don't like that question because that's like,
yeah. I'm gonna bypass everything that you've went through just to cut to the chase.
Or and then it goes to opinion. You have a group that's 700 people, and I mean, most of these people who are on these comic book pages don't read the comics, so you have all these people who are like, hey, I just bought this comic, was it a good buy? And again, it's like, I don't know, it goes with my argument of why collect comics. I understand the some people investing, but to me that would be, you wouldn't invest in 100 comics a year. You would wait until those, that's like buying a comic for $100 and instead of waiting, like selling it a month later for, like $95 because
Right.
you're trying to offload it. So having those little numbers, it should help. Like, to me, it's like, what, just start on the comic now, see if you even like this character, to see what he was in the past. I mean, that's how it was with X-Men. I mean, when I started reading it, I jumped in, and it wasn't until after I got to know the characters I wanted to know more, because sometimes stories can, like, if you start in the past, you're like, okay, cool, and then by the time you actually catch up, it's gone through 4 different writers and stuff like that. Oh, is this Superman?
That's those are his parents.
So which one is Apocalypse's kid?
Whoa. I'm assuming this blue dude. Doesn't he look like Oscar Isaac? Generations of mutants lived and died, never knowing defeat, and so I was born in glory 300 years ago.
But see, that's the thing, is that Apocalypse, if you ever read the Apocalypse book, he was born pale, like white.
Right.
So he wasn't blue like that guy. That's what I'm saying. He was like pale, like Patient Zero or whatever his name is.
Well, like that white dude, that kid, that guy.
The white privilege.
Yeah, When you
Look at
get
that.
to
Just
see.
out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. Just in my bookcase over here, I have Rise of Apocalypse. So, see that?
Yeah, now we can. Yes.
See,
Okay. Yeah.
and so people were scared of him because he was pale. He was born. Let's
Right. Like, well,
let's keep looking.
there's a certain word there. So for just to let everybody know, we're talking about X-Men 12. It is the prelude to X of Swords. There's a lot of sword battling going on in this thing. It basically tells you how these structures, how they were wielding their power, and this elemental, how they got wherever they need to get to. Sumner is working with his grandfather. He's which is Apocalypse, and they're kind of getting the ground floor prepared for, I guess, their rise to power again, or whatever the case may be. And we will see that next week when X of Swords Creation, I think that's what it's called, Created or Creations, kicks off. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as far as the books that are coming out next week. So that leads us into Stillwater. Stillwater was actually a pretty interesting read. You know, I could not help but think of Lovecraft Country. I could not help but think about that. We got a person that is he struggles to work with other people. He's not really a social person. He actually loses his job for not following protocol, and HR brings him into the office and says, "Hey, so do I get a strike or warning?" They go, "No, you get terminated. We have a zero tolerance for this thing." And so,
Are you telling me to read this? Wow.
I
Did
did
he
not.
end up in California?
He ends up going to Stillwater. I don't know where this is, but it's not in California. But anyway, I was like freaking out, and I kept thinking, man, maybe I should not have sent Roland this book. But
Oh, now
anyways,
I know not to read it. God bless.
yeah, I'm not gonna read that one, Rob. But no, what ends up happening, him and his buddy, they figure, hey, this is the best thing. And as they're getting closer and closer to Stillwater, they realize it's not on the map, which is very. If you were to watch Lovecraft Nation, it follows a lot of what that vibe is. Now, they end up in the town, and it's a town like basically what the description says. It's a town where nobody dies,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so they run into problems really quick when they try to assist. And it's in the preview. It's in the preview. I'm not revealing anything, but if you go to Previews World, look up Stillwater #1. There's an excellent preview. And we showed this last week, so we're not going to go too much into it. But it actually, the artwork, the styling, and it plays up nicely. I can see this very easily being one of those kind of Netflix shows or something like that. It's well written. The artwork is incredible. The cover is amazing. And I looked at some of the other covers, which they were not available. They were called retailer covers or variants, which you found out when you open the first cover. They list the different variants that were available, but they didn't tell you where you can get them. They just said the artist's name, and there were like at least 5 different covers. But to me, this cover was the most striking.
Wait, wasn't there already a show like this, Dead Like Me or Eureka or something like that,
I,
where nobody died? Or
you know what? I think we've gotten hints of stuff like this before. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, how many times can you do that? But I guess as it plays out, I guess that's how we're going to see it, because American Horror Story had the whole thing of the 80s horror where they couldn't leave and they could never die. They would always like come back, and it's like, oh, look, I'm alive again. It was like being in a video game or something like that. But that's a secret, I guess, that's happening in this town, and the town wants to keep it that way. And this guy comes into that town and stumbles across that information, and they kind of fear that knowledge leaving the city. And I'll just leave it like a town. It's a town. And I'll leave it like that because there are some things that come into play. And then there's a reveal at the end, which is a perfect segue into book 2. So it leaves you kind of wondering what is next for our protagonists in this film. But that's the one that I recommended as hot comic. Hard to find hot comic. I'm going to say I did not find any copies of that on the shelf. There are no copies available of Stillwater. I don't know if people just didn't order it, but or they picked it up. And then I didn't find any copies of X-Men 12. So those two issues were hard to come by, for various technical reasons, or maybe they just under ordered. But to me, those ones are definitely two hot picks to definitely you should have picked up. I'm just you know what? So that way we can just kind of converse about the other thing. I'm going to go ahead and go quickly into because we've already kind of hinted about a lot of stuff right now about Comic Book Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into that. We already talked, obviously, about speed metal. It's a bunch of metal everywhere. Savage Dragon 252, An Undiscovered Country. I do like this cover from Ryan Stegman. He did an Undiscovered Country book. I'm going to show it real quick. To me, it looks a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks like, what's his name?
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, yeah. Kind of very, very, yeah. But this is a pretty cool book, Undiscovered Country. The book that I actually picked from Image is not anything different. It's going to be Spawn 309, second printing. Yeah, it's your way to just go ahead. If you didn't get it the first time, you're probably not going to get this one either. The fans really want to push this into a third, because I think if they were to issue a third, it may be a pencil version or a black and white version, and we haven't seen a black and white version yet of this. You see Ninja Spawn and all this, and I think by popular demand you're going to see it probably now. You know what? They're probably going to announce it tomorrow by popular demand. The third printing of 309 Spawn. Here it is, and guess what? It's going to sell even more than the other two versions did. So that is my pick right there for hot comic to pick up next week. We go into the world of Thor, and unfortunately, it is another. We're looking at another reprint. It's Thor 6 second print, and it's the final picture in the book, the spoiler of this is the reveal, what Black Winter revealed to Thor as his death. He said, "Do you want to see how you die?" And he said, he basically had no choice. And this is what Black Winter showed him. But if everybody's been following, we know that Thanos is not around anymore. We know that he's passed. If he's brought back to life, we don't know. But we do see the black gloved left hand, which a lot of people are saying that what we're getting is a glimpse of Thane, his son. But then he's also holding the hammer, which if we've seen the last episode or issue of Thor 7, you just saw that some regular guy just picked up the hammer. So it seems like anybody can kind of pick up this hammer. But what happens if you put all the Infinity Stones in the hammer? So this could be something that is early glimpse. And then, of course, you see what is that? The zombie versions of all the characters in the back? Or I don't know if they're just apocalyptic versions, like they're all falling apart, dying.
I don't know.
So, but this basically could be the hint of, the next super duper crossover of Black Winter and, whatever.
Okay.
But everybody's gonna, it's a double fold or gatefold cover. I think that one's gonna be a hot issue, even though it's a multiple print version. And then we got the book that unfortunately you may have trouble getting this coming up week. It's Venom 28. Venom 28, you got a extra chubby looking Venom leaping with some helper dudes, symbiote warriors jumping out towards I'm assuming it's Codex. I don't know. I don't even know if they gave this guy a name yet, but that's the creation of Null. And you see the symbiote stuff coming out from at the very bottom there. As if one new threat to Eddie Brock and his son, Dylan, wasn't bad enough, an entirely different foe rears its monster's head as Eddie and Dylan try to find their way. But in this dangerous new world, Eddie's also enlisted the help of some new allies, some who have familiar faces and who Eddie may never want to leave. Um, for people who have not read number 27, that reveal has already been there. It's actually Eddie Brock's old girlfriend, the mother of Dylan, and we get that glimpse at the end of issue 27. So issue 27 has all kind of reveals. It has Virus. It has all this alternate universe characters of symbiote mix, Captain Americas and stuff like that, and then then that reveal as well. So this is a continuation. His long deceased ex-wife Anne Wayne, and they mentioned that right there at the bottom. So that's the reveal. And then we go into, and there he is. This is what we've been told is Codex. See, his name, his name is Codex. He is the uncontested ruler of the world. Every city, every state, every corner of this planet lies in the palm of his hands. And day by day, so I'm looking at the thing. I guess he's creating symbiotes, dude. I'm assuming that's what's happening in there. What is this, dude? Look at this guy over here. What the hell? That's Doc Ock. Oh, there he is.
Oh, it's Spider.
Yeah, everybody wears that now. Don't you know? It was already established when Venom was doing it. Might as well give everybody one. You get one. You get one. You get one. It's you know what? It's like a scene of Demolition Man.
Yeah.
John Spartan. Okay. He's got pieces of Virus because he got the little thingies there. I want to know what all of this is about. And then so he's looking at Virus pieces and the little exploding pumpkins and all that. This kind of like ruins the character of this guy here. I don't even know how he's supposed to speak in any way. The symbiote you've chose for him seems oddly hesitant of him, as if examining him or studying him for some reason. So they're trying to bond him with somebody else. Yes, of course, at once. And so he's trying to, make this thing happen. Please, let me out. I'll do whatever. So the guy's screaming his head off. You'll do whatever I want, whether you want to or not. Man, that sounds like Fate, that short movie I made. Anyway, he's holding I'm not from this world. I was chasing Brock and his kid, and we fell through this wormhole thing and then ended up. And then so the guy goes ape shit, says Brock, and throws all the crap everywhere. And tell me everything. So obviously, we still don't know who Codex is. He's wearing this mask. He's got some kind of weird, eye thing going on here. His symbol's a little bit different. It's not like spider looking. I don't know what it is. It's different than the spider emblems that everybody's wearing. But that's a little sneak preview that they kind of give. And unfortunately, you may not find this in your stores Wednesday. These books are going to be allocated. You got a lot of people that have subscribed or in some cases have prepaid for this book. So what's going to happen is that they're going to meet all those orders first. See, back in the old days, you couldn't do that. If you were allocated and you pulled out your box and you're looking in there and you're like, hey, wait, what happened? I asked for 2 of everything, which was a common thing that people did back then. They would tell you, well, due to allocations, we only put 1 in your box because we had to make sure that all of our other customers had that and that there was at least something for the shelf. It's done a little bit different now, and well, it's good though because they keep to what's going on in the if you subscribe to that book, you're going to get your book. So, but anyway, Venom 28, a lot of Codex action happening. We're going to get the reveal, I guess, of who Virus is, and we're going to find out maybe a little bit more about what is happening in this version of Earth and why this guy is so ticked off at Brock. So that's it, Venom 28. And then, of course, X of Swords with no description really other than X of Swords, Chapter 1, a tower, a mission, a gathering of armies. And uh, and we get the whole cast of the Apocalypse crew. I'm assuming it's the four dudes of the Apocalypse.
4 dudes, yeah.
Yeah, those are them at the top. I don't know. You got a Fire, and yeah, I guess those are them. And then you got Agent Zero, and you got some. Looks like a dude with an M on his eye, but I don't think that's what that is. Um, and then all these claws, more claws lifting up at them. 22 issues seems pretty steep. This first issue is $6.99. I don't know what other issues. I'm assuming other issues are going to fall into the range of $4.99 and $3.99. So that's not including alternate covers or variant covers. This thing has the makings of something that could be kind of pricey. We just finished off on an event called Empire, which led into this event, and then in about 2 months you got another event with King in Black, and that's the Null Venom thing that has a bunch of people as well. So I don't know. It is 22 books. It seems like a lot of books. You know, I mean, if you're an X-Men fan, you've been waiting for something. I guess this is perfect. It's a perfect time for an X crossover. And those are the ones. Thor 6, second printing, Venom 28, which is going to be a little bit hard to find just because of allocations that are occurring on the printing. And then you got X of Swords Creation number 1. Those are the 3 books that I recommend. Of course, if you're a DC fan, I mean, I did mention Spawn. I mean, if you already have it, great. If not, maybe you want to try to pick it up. Just that way you can sell it to your friends. But anyway, because I know some people are picking up 3 of the second printing for some reason, and it doesn't make any sense about that. But that's what we have for Comic Book Wednesday. It is Batman Day. I don't know if there's something Batman related that you wanted to comment on. I know that our local comic shops, I know Texas Toys is actually having contests and their giveaways, and they're giving away art prints and stuff. Everybody's practicing some social distancing to the most extent.
Yeah.
So there's giveaways. There's comic books galore. They brought out old Batman figures, and so there's everything you can of Batman that is definitely available. I don't know, just thinking back on I mean, we had a whole Batman episode, but I'm trying to think of, I think we talked about some unusual Batmans, didn't we? Or not
Well,
really?
I had that shirt on that
Yeah, it had all those
was all
Batmans
the
on there.
different.
And it seems to be commonplace that Batman has some kind of unusual look. They've changed his look more, and I think it was a hint from the Joker who laughs or whatever, and they became the Batman who laughs, and they got metal spikes in his head and all kinds of stuff. It's like, but it's more of a variation, and they call it a Batman, but it looks Joker like.
It's an elf world, right? Like it's not.
No, I don't know. I guess
I
it.
mean, this doesn't take place. It's not canon, right?
No, this is actually happening. I don't. It's actually like that's what it is now. Metal. This whole metal stuff. It's a spin, So you got a writer. He had an idea. They have all this foil. We started seeing books coming back with embossed logos and foils and all this. And at first, when I was looking at these books come out, they were like Batman metal, and I saw the crazy guy that was on it. I was like, what the heck is that? It's just, because they're always recreating Joker.
Yep.
It's not
And that's why
necessarily.
they're doing the 3 Jokers, or
Yeah, yeah, and but see, and the thing is that when they're doing something like that, like 3 Jokers, think they're dabbling around where they're changing some of the story of, or at least some of the Killing Joke, what was happening with that. To me, when you know, it's, I don't know, it's almost like remakes and all that. But when you have these crazy alternate versions of characters, like, then you set up, you know, this total destructive world. Now it's like Joker Wars. That brought in a couple of new characters also, like Punchline and the Clownhunter and various other characters. It's, I mean, I guess, I don't know. They're trying to re-inject everything where Harley Quinn out, I guess. I don't know. I know Harley Quinn, they ended her book. Of course, she still pops up in other books. The thing is, not everybody needs a book. And I think that's, you know, we learned that from what was happening with the X-Men, and that, you know, but that's just commonplace now. You introduce a character, and guess what? That person gets a book. Guess what? Clownhunter. Let's put it on the thing. Now, it has not been solicited. He has appeared on Batman covers and all that. When do you think Clownhunter, which is the dude with the orange mohawk and the goggles and the bat, when do you think he's going to get either a one shot or his own book? It hasn't been announced. As far as to my knowledge, it has not been announced. So I'm just letting everybody know that right off the hand.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if they're going to do that for him. I mean, is he? I'm lost.
No, I know.
On,
No, it's like Punchline. Punchline was that this person they kind of brought in, and then next thing you know, she's on every cover, but then she's got like, you know, she's got makeup like a doll or a clown or something like that, and it's like, okay, another, you know, and it to me it was very similar to the way they were bringing in Harley Quinn when she first came in. You know, she had the.
Okay, but see, again, this is what I was telling you about. When Harley Quinn first came out, it was Batman animated series.
Right.
Not every episode had Harley Quinn in it.
Right.
It was every once in a while, and not even when the Joker came out did she always come out, I don't think. But it was, people ended up liking her. And that's what caused them to decide, okay, hey, this will be the first time we ever put a character created solely for the cartoon into the comic. Okay? They didn't create Harley Quinn and go, yeah, she's going to be in the comic someday. No, they did it for the cartoon, and people ended up liking her. That's how you introduce that's how a character becomes, you know, liked. Is, you know, this reminds me, there was an old I'm going to look it up right now. There was an old comic called Dolls.
Where the characters were all had that kind of doll look.
Yeah.
See, it says Punchline is the Joker's new right-hand woman. Prime Earth. Do you have any idea what all these are? Prime Earth. See, I don't know. I know Marvel has like the different Earth whatever and Earth that. I mean, is Prime Earth considered the main?
Yeah, that's
okay. Well, then that's where all this is happening. It's almost like getting one of those books, dude, because I'm like reading. It says Origin. She was a student of Snyder College who became disillusioned with the world. It's like, oh wow, it's like who's who. But yeah, this is the next person, and then they give us where her origin, who created the person, and then the first appearance.
Who drew that cover or that picture?
No, I was gonna say, is it Art Germ? Let's see here. Penciler, Stanley Lau. Isn't that Art Germ? It's an Art Germ. It's an Art Germ cover. But, you know, so that's Punchline. That was also a character that was just introduced just relatively recently. You know, you gotta set up that, and then the return of Harley Quinn, because I think there's even covers where they're battling each other or something like that. Let me look up this clown dude. He's he doesn't have a whole big write up like that. But, you know, depending on how popular some characters get, you never know that life of their own gets started. It just says anti-heroic vigilante in Gotham who is fixated on killing the Joker and his supporters. Clownhunter first appeared in issue number 95, also created by the same team that created Punchline. So these guys just came in, I guess, and they just started creating various characters, make some cool looking ones. And did they always have plans? I'm going to go back to Gambit. Did they always have plans when they introduced him in that little thing that he had like a bigger thing? They always had him planned that way, or did it just kind of just start
because they were
developing that way?
I think I need to look at the X-Men Forever, because that would be the because that was where he said where Chris Claremont continued on, and I think he was like right off the bat the traitor.
Right.
So since him and Jim Lee created them,
and then that's when ends up happening there.
I'd have to look, or maybe it was. I got to reread it. I don't know that. Well, because nobody trusted him when he first came out. Even then, because the only reason they trusted him was because of Storm.
Right.
Because Storm trusted him.
Okay. I just found out. Okay, the Batman Who Laughs is Earth 22. Yeah, that's what they're kind of doing with Batman now. It's like they got this, real dark. I know that. I don't think if a Batman was like that, with the spikes on the eyes and all that kind of junk. I don't think I would have ever. I don't think Mom and Dad would have ever bought me that. I don't see adults buying that for their kids. That's not the same Batman. And even if you looked at some of the Batman stuff, it's real dark. I think you could still kind of buy a Spider-Man book, or for the most part, maybe, I know they don't have the code anymore. And, it's just, I don't know. You have to be real selective, I guess, of what you buy your children. Would you let your kids, some of the books that I've shown, would you let your kids read some of those?
No.
Yeah, they're kind of, it's on the dark realm. It's not like it used to be. You have to kind of be real choosy here. Now, they do have books that have these characters that are more, family friendly and stuff like that. But definitely, the edge is definitely there in some of these comic books, just like Batman and stuff like that. So if you're looking for Batman books, there are a whole bunch of them that you can find right now at your comic book stores. Go online, DC, what is it called? BatmanDay.com or whatever it is from DC. They have lots of activities. There's free books. You go on HBO Max. They have a DC Hub. I unfortunately don't have that on my television because I have it through Hulu. But if you have the app, you can go in there, and the DC Hub has been taken over by Batman, so you can watch, Batman films and stuff like that. But yeah, I think they even have free comics that you can actually read some of the older issues or special issues that they've just released within, I don't know, past couple of years, or something specially made for today. So a lot of that stuff is available right now in celebration of Batman Day. Is there something else you'd like to mention about Batman Day?
No.
I think it's Batman Day. Oh, it says here, I've been ignoring some of this. It says Richard had said that is what issue 0 was for. I guess he's referring to the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X-Men thing. And then he also revealed something about Punchline. Punchline believes the Joker can be even more evil and sinister then Harley Quinn believes the Joker is deep down good. So, okay, so it's we're trying to make Harley Quinn a better
More of a
person.
good.
Yeah. Oh. And then so we get that. So now Harley Quinn's kind of like floating around out there, trying to find where they're going to put her in. They got a new person. It's who knows? Maybe they'll have a big old crossover showdown. But there's definitely the Joker Wars ending. We got a couple of issues. I think it's ending right now. You got 3 Jokers out right now. So if you haven't seen any of that, you can definitely go to your local comic shop and pick up some of those. And of course, it was a celebration of Batman's 1000th appearance on Detective Comics. So they have issue 1027 has various different stories in it, lots of different covers to pick. But it is a hefty price of a book. You might be able to get it on special today. Go to all your comic book shops if they're open. Practice social distancing and be safe. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about Batman Day, unless you do. I know you got other things on your mind and stuff like that. You know what? This almost became a Bishop issue. We almost turned this into let's take a look at Bishop. So we may save that for next week. Do you want to put something on that thing? Or I know that there's going to be a lot of transition, but that way we set something in stone, and then that way we can just kind of hype it up of what we want to talk about for next week. That way
we'll talk about. I have no problem talking about Bishop next. I'll be more.
No. Totally understandable. So let's do that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Bishop and how he fit into, or how he appeared in the X-Men universe, and maybe kind of dabble into where he's at now, because I know he's has his imprint in film and in animation and in the comic books themselves. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how that character develops and all that kind of stuff. So next week we'll talk about Bishop, and I think that's it. Well, this will be somewhat your last broadcast from Texas. The next time we see Roland, he will be in sunny California?
California, high desert,
red sky, California. What kind of California are we talking about here?
High desert.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't affect them over there, right? All that stuff.
Not as much.
Okay, but that's where we'll be joining. Roland will be joining us. Did I call you Richard or Roland?
No, you call me Roland.
Okay. See, I thought it's Spider-Man, Batman Day. I'm Superman. I'm all confused. It's one of those weird days. I think I need a donut. That's what it is. And I think I still might have time to grab a couple of them before they go totally bad. But anyway, for Rip Comics Podcast, I'm Rob.
And I'm Roland.
And I guess we still don't have a theme. Whatever.
Outro,
wordtro. I don't know. We'll just have to keep developing one. But yeah, send us your messages if you have an outro word or whatever that you want us to say.
Actually, read your comics. There you
go. Read your comics. They're not just for looking at the covers. So until next time, keep reading.
For the stars.